Oh.
There's a bad video of what?
What's her name?
Tara Patrick.
Yeah, she's part Asian too, like me, and she has a whole porn that's called Tara Tara Tara.
Ah. Wow, we're really getting into it early. Well, welcome to bringing it back. Well, if you really want to know how I got here.
Over show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my username for a while was Tara Tara Tara.
That's hilarious.
On Pornhub? Or?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
a nod,
webcam.com.
a nod to Tara Patrick.
Yeah.
An ode.
Yes.
An ode. Well, I guess just I want you guys to tell us about yourselves, like how you guys get into music. Did you both grow up in L.A.?
No, Josh is from Florida, actually, originally. Yeah, he's from Orlando.
Ooh.
Doesn't want anyone to know that, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just ruined
We
it for
outed you.
Yeah, totally outed him. He was waiting for it.
I was born in Northern California, but I was raised in Orlando, Florida, and then I moved out to LA when I was 20 years old and didn't know anyone and tried to just play in a bunch of different bands and eventually fell into a band with Chase. That wasn't the Shelters, but it was another band we had before this, and I mean, lots of things. In Florida, I played.
Yeah, how'd you start playing music in Florida?
I mean, I got my first guitar when I was 11 years old. My brother got a drum kit. He didn't stick with the music stuff, but I kind of like took a liking to it.
Yeah.
And my dad knew a couple chords. Yeah, no, these are some stiff
drink.
beverages. Good.
Thanks, Nico.
Yeah, good job over there.
It's going to be a good show tonight.
Sorry.
My dad knew a couple guitar chords, so he showed me some stuff, but it was never like, I surpassed him kind of quick. And then I played in churches when I was younger in Florida, and I played in different bands, kind of like I was always the young guy. I'm the oldest one in the Shelters, but which is weird for me. Yeah, but I am though, which is weird for me because I always was like young playing in bands and having to like sneak into shows where I couldn't get in and because of my age and whatnot. But
oh yeah, coming at 20.
Yeah, even when I came out here, I couldn't even have a Bloody Mary legally. But yeah,
Bloody Maria.
Eventually, I mean, I consider the majority of my growth in the business to have been once I moved to LA for sure. There's not a lot to do in Florida. There's like churches and Disney World and like boy bands, or hardcore bands, I guess. But it wasn't my bag, so I went to LA and I met a lot of interesting musicians along the way and like I said, eventually ended up in a band with Chase. But
he ended up on a cruise ship that he ended up meeting another band in LA. Then this cruise that he took is actually
I mean
like I think it's the key to his whole life unfolding the way it has is him going on a cruise.
With your family, or just went on this?
It was with it was with my brother, my sister, and my grandmother. Yeah, we went on I don't know. I mean,
it's true though.
I don't put quite as much into it.
He
as
met this guy who he ended up playing with a band with, who played in a band with me at the time, and that's how he met me. And then
wow.
And there's more to it, but we can't reveal. We can't reveal the rest.
No, I mean, there's lots of things like that cruise ship that have happened to me in my life. Like lots of just every day there's things like that happen to me.
6 degrees of separation.
A lot, and I've, again, being from Florida, eventually, meeting with Tom when we worked with him and his involvement with us obviously was huge for me. I mean, it would be huge for anyone, but being a Florida boy, I mean, I used to definitely, we've played here with Mudcrutch, right?
Yeah, that was the last time we played here.
And I used to, definitely drive around Florida and like listen to Mudcrutch. I mean, I remember the lady at the record store suggesting that when it came out, and I had it on CD in my truck, and I always played it. And the first Mudcrutch record, and then fast forward, and then I'm playing here with them years later. So it's been a pretty wild ride, and lots of things, the cruise ship being one of them, but lots of things like that have happened that have got me to, this kind of bizarre place.
You said you played in churches and stuff growing up. I know a lot of these interviews that we talked to, a lot of people, that's how they start out. And was that like your first like live kind of shows that you played, or like
I don't know, but I mean, it was Yeah, I would say in some ways. I mean, it was the first, like, they you know how these churches are. They get pretty professional.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's like the
I had
first
definitely
chance.
played shows and things like that. The first band I played bass in. It was a hardcore band, of course. And, yeah, that's a funny thing. But I eventually made it into the churches, and they were basically, first of all, they paid.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Because there's always money in religion, you know. There's lots of money in religion, and you know, they had a professional atmosphere for sure. Other professional musicians, and that definitely was some phase that I was doing musically. And but throughout that, I always had friends and people that I met in the church or out of the church or whatever. But people that had bands and things, and I would try to jump in whenever I could to play with other groups that I admired and stuff. And that's always been my kind of thing. So
That's awesome.
yeah, just playing guitar. No, I never really was trying to sing or write songs. That's never been a thing of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Until we forced him.
yeah.
you
I
guys
forced
do
him.
it well.
Well, yeah.
So what
Oh,
did
thanks.
you were you from? You're
I'm
from
from
LA?
California.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm from LA. Yeah, I just grew up in like the hills in Malibu. That's kind of like was like just canyon boy. Like I always played music since I was 8. You know, I got my first guitar. I played in punk bands like California's surfer punk bands and stuff. And you know, I've just played music my whole life too. And I had a different kind of. I didn't play in churches. But I didn't really go to church or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wasn't from Florida.
I wasn't from Florida. Yeah, we don't go to church here.
I don't even think there is a church in Malibu.
Yeah, there's
Probably
no
take an
church.
hour to get there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And like Matthew McConaughey is the pastor.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I would go to that
I would
church.
attend that.
Yeah.
Actually, did you see that he's now a professor at?
I did.
Like
Oh, that's
some
funny.
college.
Love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was always the guy though, like teaching my friends how to play bass, 3 notes on the bass, so we could do like a talent show when we were in 3rd grade or something, or
wow.
you know, like teaching someone how to play like a really stupid beat on the drum so I could play with someone. You know, for some reason I never had like really good friends that like good well-playing musician friends when I was
Yeah.
young, so I always was like, come on, you could do it. And but yeah, and I played in a lot of like hardcore bands. I was homeschooled for a while because I like broke my leg really badly and almost had it amputated.
Oh my
so for like 2
gosh.
years of high school I was homeschooled, so I just had like, but I somehow convinced all my close friends to be homeschooled too.
Nice.
So
Oh,
then we
that
just
works.
had a garage like band every day instead of class.
That's so
That's
cool.
amazing.
That, yeah. So,
Not
and
cool
then-
about your leg, but
yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
It healed.
it worked out. Yeah,
It's fine.
it's bionic. Yeah, and then I just met Josh later on in life, and
And then
you know,
So when you guys met up, you said you were in a different band together.
yeah, we were in another band together that kind of just crumbled as they do, you know.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to, you know, kind of pursue music together. And Tom was, I grew up with Tom's stepson. That's how we. That's
Oh,
how.
that's-
That's
yeah.
how. Like
You got
Tommy
it.
became involved from the beginning in the project. But like, at that point, he was really like encouraging to both of us about
Sure.
our playing and how we sounded together and our songwriting and stuff. So he really wanted to see us do more. And so we just, you know, kept writing together and kept playing. And then Sebastian played in that band as well.
Oh, okay.
And so we just kind of
Just the
kept
three.
going, and just we didn't have a singer or anything. So Josh would sing at first, and then I never really was a singer, so I kind of but I started writing more. And when you're writing, it's like that's part of it, you know. You want to be able to sing, you know. So I started trying to sing songs, and it just kind of developed more and more.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
And we like discovered ourselves as songwriters and like singers and everything, I think.
so Tom Petty, like really kind of when you formed the Shelters, was he kind of involved with that, or like were you guys
Yeah.
already jamming, or?
For sure. He was like our original bass player.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't have a bass player. I mean, he was like
See that
yeah.
picture of him out there?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely a big part of us forming the band.
Yeah.
I mean, he may as well have been, like he said, a band member. So
Yeah.
it is interesting. Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure we would have continued to do something, but he definitely kind of lit a fire under us and kind of like. like I said, I was never planning to write songs or anything like that. I was just ready to just play guitar. So he kind of inspired and said, "Oh no, you guys should try to write some songs." And we eventually came up with some things, but we're still figuring it out, you know. And he definitely gave us some cool advice and things along the way. But people always ask for like, "Oh, what did he tell you?" And it's just impossible to describe.
Right.
Honestly, like it was just
infinite.
years of,
It was just years of hanging with
him and
with the guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Was
so.
his stepson also homeschooled with you?
No, but he was homeschooled. But
So you just happen to be friends with his stepson? Is that
Yeah.
kind of how it all came together?
Yeah, from before when I was actually in school and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were friends and we played music together and stuff. And but you know that
Yeah.
we're still friends and everything. But
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
I pursued music professionally. You know, so just kind of like split off. But yeah, Tommy just kind of like the more and more we got involved, like the more we wanted to do, the more he would get interested and he would get excited, and excited him to see like young kids wanting to like, you know, pick his brain about stuff and learn and get better. And the more that we put into it, the more he put into it and, you know, got invested and stuff. And so it kind of just was like this mutual kind of energy spark that was, you know, in the studio at his house.
Yeah, he had a lot of wisdom, and we were lucky to be on the receiving end of it because he doesn't really like. He was kind of, you know, he stayed home a lot. He didn't go out and do things and go out and see bands and stuff. So we were really lucky that he took an interest in us, and he would come out to our shows, and there'd always be somebody at the Echo in Silver Lake or something, and be like, find out that he was standing like with his like hoodie on or whatever. Like he would do that, and it was awesome. You know, he was a huge support to us, and the amount of wisdom we can't really even describe. That's the thing. There's no like, I don't have any specific anecdotes I could like say that would be like, oh, he did this. It's just infinite. So, but
And because he wasn't really producing anyone, right? Other than you guys.
We were just basically some kids that were hanging around in the studio playing, you know, that he let us
overheard,
Yeah.
you know, and was like, oh, okay, this is like, and he took an interest in it and what it was, for whatever reason.
And then he'd come in and give tips, or he'd come in and tell us, hey, oh, that was cool what you guys did. And then we all, as years go on, you get closer, you get more, you know, more involved. We actually started getting to work with him on his stuff, and like it just kind of turned into this like music making factory of
That's amazing.
of just
we were like Oompa Loompas.
yeah.
Because you both actually played on one of his records, right? Or did you contribute to one of his albums?
We both were assistant engineers. Josh played fuzz guitar on one track, I think, and some other stuff maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to describe because he would bring things in and like show us ideas he was working on, and we would just like go, you know, we would just fall into jamming into it, and
we were like the house band.
Yeah.
We were like the house band. Yeah.
So we played on a number of things. We have recordings of us with him, of jam sessions, you know, all night jam sessions and stuff that we would do with him just for fun. And
that's
we gotta dig through them at some point.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
Exactly. Yeah, we do have one song that we were working on, like that was like the last kind of thing that we were working on with him. So maybe one day we'll get to finish that and make it cool.
That'd be special. Yeah, that's really amazing. I know that must have been super hard for you guys. I mean, it was even hard for me as a
hard for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's been some time now, so it's it's definitely but being here, even, you know, it's like you definitely think, and then his picture everywhere and
last time we were here was with him.
Every day you think about it for sure.
Very blown up over there.
Little things that remind you of him and stuff.
Yeah, but because of our relationship with the family, that's what allowed us to continue to make our this record we've just done still at his home studio.
Oh, okay. So the new album you recorded there as well.
Yeah,
a lot of it. Yeah, I would say a really good percentage of it.
Some of it at Sunset Sound.
Yeah, some at Sunset Sound in Hollywood, and I mean, not to get too mystical, but it's like you definitely still feel a presence there, and it's like you at first it was like really obvious that there was no presence there, and then it's like as we continued to work there, you realize, well, this is just, we've like grown up in a lot of ways in that studio, so to continue to work there is a real lucky thing, and we don't know how long it'll continue on, you know. I don't know if it'll be there forever, so we just basically took advantage of it, and we knew he would, you know, we had the support of the family to do it, and they trust us, and so that's what we've done. That's how we did most of this new record. We sat in there and we just
we've spent more time in there, I think, than any other place.
We
in
toured
the world,
a lot.
I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Josh and I have spent, I don't know, 20,000 hours in that.
A lot of hours.
Yeah.
And we
Years
toured our
of our
last
life.
record a lot, and then we got home, and well, basically at the end of that cycle is when, unfortunately, when Tommy passed away, and then we mourned for a bit, and we took us a second to figure out what, you know, and then we had some other kind of things go on inside of our band, and then, you know, once all throughout that time, though, Chase and I were writing songs, and we had quite a big batch of songs available when we went to do the record, and I think the ones that we chose are probably the best ones. I mean, but there's
At
still
least
some
the
cool
ones that we needed for the record.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's a lot of cool songs that just maybe you have too many of the same ones, or you need more of this arc or that arc. So, but we, you know,
and since we had access to the studio, we recorded a lot of it on our own, which is how we did our first record, and got our own sounds and things like that. But then when it came time to take it a little more serious, and we enlisted Joe Ciccarelli to produce the record, and we took all those tracks kind of to Sunset Sound, which is where he operates out of, and we just kind of dissected it all, added some things, took some things away.
Did the rhythm tracks down there.
And then we ended up doing the majority of the rhythm tracks of the record there, kind of in a live fashion, you know. And it was a good experience because it added kind of a professional element to what we do, which is kind of, it's a little bit amateur hour. It still may sound cool, but we don't always know exactly what we're doing in the studio. So
we needed to be reined in a little bit because we were just left alone in the studio, just me and Josh for the first time, you know. So,
but it was also gratifying to hear that Joe felt that a lot of the material was cool that we did on our own. So we did end up keeping a lot of the things that we did on our own and interspersing it with the new, more pro-sounding stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool mix. And
approaching this new record, was it having Tom Petty in the studio, you guys originally, like going into the second album, was that kind of like
super hard?
Yeah, was that hard to kind of come together?
Because we were so used to like relying on his opinion and just thoughts about everything, and so it was so nice just having someone that you could ultimately trust, like so fully, with just, I totally believe you if you think that that's wrong. Like,
his opinion goes a long way.
Yeah,
you know, and that's really hard to find, and I think you need that, and like I think that's
it's like
what
you
I
play
have
something
with Josh.
for your mom. She's like, "Oh, it's great." You know, you don't really know if it's great.
You have to have that with your band members. You know, I have that with Josh, and I think he has that with me. It's like when we both feel strongly about something, like, you know, I take it. I believe what he says, and the same thing. You know, like if in the studio though we have like a language, like if I could give a look, he's like, all right, that was crazy. You know, whatever. We know how to do that. So it's hard to find that, and to find the new someone who could fill that void for us took a really long time. And I don't, you know, obviously it really never will happen, but like I think we landed somewhere that was a good happy medium, and that we all kind of got along and were able to come out with a great record. You know? But it was definitely hard to, you know, make that transition from having somebody there that you fully you know, respected their opinion, and you don't want us to do that, okay, we're gonna do this, and now you're gonna go and writing the songs, because we wrote the songs probably, we didn't start recording the record until September, even though we were demoing everything like we were recording. So but for like, you know, almost 9 months or something, we were recording this record and didn't have anyone going, that's great, that sucks, you're crazy, you know what.
We basically had no sounding board aside from each other. So I mean,
who knows,
we got
what's
carried
happening
away on
in
a
the
lot of things.
studio at 2 a.m.
Right.
We got carried away a lot, and that's probably why it took so long, because we were basically just allowed to explore. And I mean, as far as working without Tom and the transition, it's like we're obviously really thankful to the family for letting us continue to work there. Because it would have been a real shock for us just in our whole process if all of a sudden everything had been stripped away.
Yeah.
The same as his presence had, like, you know, but like because we were able to continue at least with, you know, like an injured, you know, team or whatever, we were able to continue on there, and that actually helps a lot. So.
Yeah, for sure.
We love that studio, and it'll be weird to ever record a
Anywhere
record
else.
without it. Yeah, because
it's like your home field.
Yeah, we have
you know?
we have lots of cool gear and stuff there. I mean, the gear over the years has kind of slimmed down, you know, for different reasons. And, but we've amassed quite a collection of gear on our own, and they let us, you know, keep it there. So we have it's just all of our tools and stuff. We're just used to it there. You know, we know how to get sounds that we like.
Yeah,
and
it's cozy.
cozy, yeah.
Because the new record's coming out in
September 20th.
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming out
just
soon.
in time for people to, you know, put it on their CD player on the way out to Area
So
51.
Oh yeah, because they're doing the whole like invasion, right?
Yeah,
it's that
exactly.
day.
And
Oh, that's the
our
day.
record cover has a freaking UFO on it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
They're selling Shelters records at Area 51.
That's
Why
amazing.
people are storming there.
Who came up with the concept of it? Because there's like on the album, there's like a bear in like a recliner.
Yeah. So that's a really funny thing is because we actually saw this happen on PCH on the way up to the studio one day, like many years ago. And Josh took a picture out of my car, I think, like driving by like crazy. We were like, what the hell is that? And it was literally some dude had a trailer pulled over with a UFO,
was
a
like-
teddy bear on a golf cart. And
It
it
was
was like,
essentially the same image as on the cover of the record was what the image that we had for a while, and it was just like this thing I had, and I would like send it around, and I thought it was weird and
yeah.
cool. I thought it was cool,
And we just, you know.
and it's just stuck
We
around.
saw
and then when
it
came time
again, and we needed a cover, and we're like, "That's pretty
That
good,"
might
but the
be cool.
picture's kind of not
the
good.
picture was like an iPhone 2 or something, so
sure.
it was like really bad quality, and then it was really bad, so we couldn't use it, so we had to recreate.
Okay.
which
this photo.
was really crazy because where do you get a UFO, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Or
but we're not
honestly-
going to tell that right now.
Yeah,
I think it's better to have
Yeah.
You don't want.
mystery
Yeah.
of where we
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things like the. I mean, the picture. It doesn't have some deep meaning, but it is something that we saw, and it's almost
California.
identical. It's almost identical what we saw, including the bear and the recliner.
And the same place.
And this guy is out there, and he'll probably like hear about this because I've heard. I sent you a thing.
Yeah,
that
you
I've like
found him.
researched trying to find this guy because who knows what he was doing with it. You know, I don't know what his system was, what his whole plan was, but it would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
And maybe if he hears it, we can
Get
you
the
know.
story behind it.
Yes.
Yeah, and people were driving by. Who did I say? Oh yeah, so it was in Malibu that we were shooting it, and people were driving by. And
Oh,
just
my
every
God.
single person couldn't help but turn their head, like,
even Mel Gibson, right? He drove by.
Mel
and
Gibson
he
just drove by in his car, and he saw. What, I swear, I told them because I was like, guys, Mel Gibson just did the same thing as every other person because he cruised right by with his beard and everything, his Tesla or whatever he was driving. It was awesome.
It
though.
was
It caught
pretty-
everyone's
yeah.
attention. So,
We caused the scene for sure.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
but we like had a purpose. I don't know. The
Yeah.
original guy wasn't trying to get attention,
Yeah.
but he did.
Can we ask you our one question that we ask all the people that are on Bringing It Backwards?
Yeah.
For each of you, what advice do you have for aspiring artists?
Ooh. I just would say, you got.
Like musicians,
Yeah, musicians.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any artist trying to
just
cut
don't
their teeth.
play guitar because
Yeah.
everyone plays guitar. Play bass.
And you gotta love it.
If you
gotta
learn how
really
to,
love it.
I've always said if you learn how to play bass, you'll be in any band. Like people are always looking for bassists, including us. Not anymore. We have a great bassist.
But yeah.
But that's always my advice to people.
Anything
Don't learn
but
guitar because everyone that's
You always
just
have a
dime
gig. If
dozen.
you're a
you can
bass
get
player,
so
yeah.
good at the
Oh my
guitar and
God.
you won't be the best.
Yeah. There will always be someone
Yeah.
better.
But bass,
Yeah.
you don't even have to be very good, and you can play in bands.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I know
everyone
lots of
just know
great
because
bands.
for some reason no one wants to play bass or
That's
is a
my
bass
advice.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Mine is if you're gonna pursue it professionally, you better really love playing.
And Instagramming.
Yeah, and Instagramming. yeah.
Mainly, you better love
Yeah.
Instagramming.
Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
doing
Hopefully,
you.
this.
between those two bits of
No,
advice,
Yes.
I want
will
to
spark all kinds of rock stars of future generations.
Yeah. Too many bass players
Bass
now.
players that are good at Instagram. I'm telling you, that is a big thing. That you'll be popular, and your DMs will be filled up with all kinds of pretty girls. It'll be huge.
Yeah.